That, my friends, is Fall Out Boy's all-new single Centuries from the band's newly released 6th studio album, American Beauty, American Psycho, already streamed nearly 60 million times on YouTube and Spotify. 60 million. Put your head around that. It's just out now. So how does it make the band feel? We're going to find out because Pete Wentz and Patrick Stump are in the studio with us today. Guys, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so ESPN, our sister network, picked this up to play for the first ever college football championship. It's been played on the WWE. I mean, this song instantly, this single has already taken on that kind of like commercial significance. Did it kind of blow your mind? Had you prepared for that?
Not at all. And it's really crazy for me because, you know, I'm a band kid, so I wasn't even that acquainted with sports. And it's been like a crash course where, you know, we've been to so many games in the past year or two. Like, it's crazy. So,
a band kid? Are you talking like just like never?
Yeah, just, you know, playing in punk rock bands and stuff like that. You know, that was pretty much. I put all my eggs in that basket. I didn't really have any time for any other hobbies. You know, so it's been kind of wild. Like, Pete's been having to like tell me some of the rules and stuff.
It's good.
Well,
he's doing a good job.
Maybe that's a spin-off. Maybe that's a tutorial album. Then it's like, you know, sports instruction.
Sports 101. Yeah.
Pete Wentz, right?
I don't know how that'd sell.
Could be a good follow-up. That could be like the extras on Spotify or something like that. But so you go into the studio and you're recording this. I mean, do you have any idea then that, you know, like Centuries is going to stand out, or like Uma Thurman, which is another track, is going to stand out?
I feel like, so when we, you know, because people are like, it gets played in arenas and that kind of stuff, you know, and it's like we do try to write songs because we're a band that plays festivals and plays arenas and wants to play stadiums and that kind of stuff. So we try to design songs that are write songs that are gonna sound cool in those environments with, like, you know, kids interacting and stuff like that. And the default thing that happens in those places is sports and stuff like that, you know, and like, so we're like, it makes sense to us, you know, in that way, but we don't write it with that expectation, you know.
They're just like a byproduct of that.
Yeah. If we've ever tried to write a song for like a sports anthem,
whenever you try to write a song for anything, usually it doesn't work out that way. It's always the ones that surprise you. Like, I actually was talking about this earlier. I am terrible at picking that, at being like, anytime I'm like, guys, I got the song. This is going to be the one for blank, whatever it is.
Right.
That's always the song that doesn't even make the record, you know. Like,
so let the odds makers know in Vegas then. Always go against
me. I'm a bet against my taste, for sure.
How does it get determined then for what's going to make the cut then? Is it a vote? Is it just sort of like...
It's a vote, and then there's sometimes there's some persistent nagging, and then sometimes there's like some...
It's a light argument, you know.
Drag you kicking and screaming is the end result, usually.
But I mean, by now I'm starting to get it. I'm like, okay, I trust you guys. Like,
right. Well, clearly you've got a track record that may prove that. The tone, the sound, the style is a little different. It's a little evolved. Describe that.
Well, I mean, we wanted to just kind of we wanted to continue experimenting and see what happens, and keep the constants of you know, Pete's lyrics, I think, are very definable. I guess my voice is pretty definable. Keep those elements, you know, at the forefront, but change everything else around it and see what happens. And I mean, I think it's always exciting when we start a new record because we don't know what it's going to sound like. You know?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we're fighting to be the band on radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like us and 1.5 other bands. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like hopefully this record, there's kids out there who hear Centuries who then hears other songs on the record and go discover other bands because of us. Like, we want to be a gateway for kids.
Right, so like, I mean, that's got to be the challenge then, because you still want to be loyal to your base, but at the same time attract new.
Well, and yeah, I mean, if we grew up on bands like that. We grew up on bands that, you know, broke through, like Green Day or Metallica.
Metallica doesn't change, if The Clash doesn't change, it's like hard to, I mean, like, you can't listen to the same record over and over again forever.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the tracks, Uma Thurman. Tell me about the story about this. I mean, did you just call her up and say, hey, listen, we're going to do a song, and this is...
Hey, Uma.
By the way.
Yeah, well, so we wrote the song. Originally we had this Monster sample, and people kept saying, oh my God, Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction.
A lot of people mistook it for the Dick Dale song in Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, we'll write about Uma Thurman, because she plays these kind of like legendary, empowered women, especially in Kill Bill. I think it's just awesome. And then we reached out to her camp, at least, and said we wanted to name the song this, and I think we got her blessing for that, so that's pretty cool.
That's not bad.
So it's crazy to imagine that she might have heard the song. Like I can't imagine her.
I think when you get 60 million 60 million hits, there's probably a good possibility you name something after someone else. They're probably going to want to check into that. All right, so you talk about the fact a little bit of the influence, and you know, you guys are both fathers. Congratulations, 3 months old, 6. Influence, does it change the way that you guys are going to the studio? Does it change when you sit down and write?
We're definitely a much more relaxed band, I think, because I mean, fatherhood just forces a lot of patience on you. You know?
Yeah. I was like a maniac before. Like I'd be a maniac in line at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Just like going crazy. Like, why isn't this person ordering faster? Like, you know, like having a child, especially when they're a toddler age, you like quickly realize that if you can be patient enough with that, then you can handle anything. Like Starbucks, a rock band, like any of that stuff is. But so I have a 5-month-old as well, and it's so interesting to see they're all interesting phases.
It's got to be kind of crazy as well, because I mean, 3-month-old and a 5-month-old, that's still very, very early on in the stage, and kind of, you know, they're sort of feeling their way around in the world. You're guiding them, but you're also on homework duty as well.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing in the world. I mean, to have Pete Wentz as your dad, kind of checking over to make sure that your homework's done.
Here's the best part about it is that my kid, he's the only person that I'm absolutely certain that I'm just his dad. Like, he's like, why do people want to take pictures with you? And like, when we get up in the morning, he just like wants the chocolate chip pancakes. Like, it doesn't really matter how I look or
he does not care.
Know.
I've seen him on the side of the stage, like, you know, he'll be at a show and there'll be, you know,
40,000 people,
and he's on the side of the stage playing his video game or whatever. So.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but not to be said, like, it's like,
it humbles you.
Yeah, it's like another level of humility. But then, like, when I go to his school and they're talking about like what they want to do, and he's like, I'm gonna be a rock star. I'm like, oh my God, it's like. I want to cry. It's like so amazing to see a little person.
So he clearly gets it. He just hasn't gotten caught up.
He wants to play drums.
Yeah, he wants to play drums.
Well,
you will stay humble. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a few years to kind of learn the lessons and the ropes on that. You guys also, congratulations, big announcement. Boys of Summer coming out, co-headlining with Wiz Khalifa as well, right?
Yes, yeah. We're stoked for that tour. It's going to be in amphitheaters, and it's a chance for us to bring out like a really big production, and playing with Wiz will be cool because hopefully we'll be able to like kind of cross-pollinate or do something together that, you know, for the different fan bases, which will be cool.
Very cool. We're going to be looking forward to that. What else? I mean, as if you don't have enough going on.
Yeah, I didn't even know what day it was earlier, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right. You were kind of just like, it could be Friday, it could be Wednesday.
So we do this around the globe. So like we go to Australia and do this, then we go do this in Asia, and then maybe, I don't know.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
So wherever the
where else is popular?
Wherever the iCal says.
Nice job. Check it out. American Beauty, American Psycho. Pete Wentz, Patrick Stump. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks.